hello, and welcome to hopefully another edutaining episode of Create Simple Meal, where you know we only have 3 rules. You must have passion, you must have patience, and you must be willing to practice. So today we're going to practice on making sweet potato pie. The holidays are upon us, and this is one of the favorite pies for the holidays, especially Thanksgiving. Excuse me, I had a frog in my throat. One, I want to give a quick thank you and a much appreciation. Yesterday, somebody contacted me, and it was on the website, and the recipe that I'm doing today had an error in it. What made me so proud and made me feel good was that the fact that they contacted me lets me know that you all are viewing the website and you are utilizing the tools out there. So thank you for that. Also, I got a call from, my wife texted me, her aunt had watched the show, or one of the shows where I was doing the greens, and she was saying how, you know, in 80 plus years of her life, she's never seen greens done that way, and it was so easy. She tried it, and it worked. So thank you for that. Please, as always, send me your emails, your comments, your criticism, your questions, or any inquiries you have. And as always, please subscribe to us if you're on YouTube. Hit that notification bell so that you know that we're on. Please like and follow us on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram. Don't forget to tap into us on TikTok. For this show and our previous shows and recipes, visit createsimplemeals.com. Email me at askme@createsimplemeals.com. Hit that chat button while you're there. You can talk with me directly, and please share this video with your friends and your family. So let's go ahead and get started. Gonna be kind of a nerdy technical component to this, but this recipe calls, well, actually I'm making 3 pies now because I made one last night so I could have one already baked for the show. But for one pie, you need 1 pound, 3 ounces of sweet potato. You can either boil them, steam them, or you can bake them. But basically, you want to get them soft. So you want to cube them up, bake them to get them soft. I have not tested this out, but if you bake them, it removes that stringiness. I don't have that issue, but that's what I heard is supposed to happen. So let's go ahead and get started with this. Lock this thing down. We have in here our sweet potatoes, which we've already steamed. So again, for 1 pie in a deep dish 9-inch pie shell, you're going to use 1 pound, 3 ounces of that. So we're going to get this and mixed up in there. Then you're going to add in 14-ounce cans of condensed milk, about a teaspoon of nutmeg, tablespoon of vanilla, and a stick of butter, 2 eggs, and that is the recipe. Now, if you happen to end up making more sweet potato pie mix than you need for your pies, what you can do is make a basic cheesecake. And this is what I did also. I did a sweet potato swirl cheesecake. So I might put that recipe onto the website, but that's something I've been wanting to do for a while. So I had a bunch of extra sweet potato puree, and basically just make a regular old cheesecake and swirl that on in there. But I might put that recipe on there. But this is, if you have extra sweet potato puree or pie mix, there's other things that you can do with it. Let's go ahead now and start adding in this sweetened condensed milk. Now, I only use sweetened condensed milk when I'm doing mine, and that to me is enough sweetness. If you find out that this is not sweet enough for you, you can add up to 2 cups of sugar. What I would do, though, is I would add them in 1/4 cup increments so that you don't get too sweet. Another thing, and I was telling the person that contacted me yesterday on the air, another thing that some chefs do is they'll add a pinch of salt. Now, y'all know I don't like them arbitrary numbers. A pinch of salt is actually a 1/16 of a teaspoon, but they add a pinch of salt, and that actually enhances the flavor of sweet, or it enhances the sweeter sensation. Let's get all that on in there. Go and do another one while we're waiting. And I don't know if these comments, I'm getting the comments from YouTube coming in. If you're out there in Facebook land, if this is streaming, shoot me a thumbs up or something, or say, hey. Another question I want to know, because I remember growing up, my mom would, she wasn't having that getting in her kitchen on Thanksgiving. I would love for y'all to email me or comment on here. What are you cooking the night before Thanksgiving for your family to eat? Because folks still got to eat. And what do you, if anything, cook or provide for your family on Thanksgiving morning other than fast food or takeout? I'd be curious to see what y'all out there use to satisfy your family. Because you know, those of us that cook, you know, the ones that ain't cooking, they always want to be in the kitchen asking, is something ready to eat, is something ready to taste, I'm hungry, I'm this, that, and the other. So I always wonder. Now me, what I usually do is I end up getting like some type of pastry or something and have that, or throw some biscuits in the oven real quick. Something real quick, fast, in a hurry for Thursday morning. Now, for Wednesday night is usually, as my wife called it, go for what you know night. But tomorrow night, I'm probably going to fry some pork chops because I'm pretty much prepped to start cooking Thursday morning. Those of you that watched my show last week, I gave y'all some tips. Those tips are the tips that I actually use. So I actually started already. All my cheese is grated. All my greens is chopped up. My yams is cut up. The only thing I really got to do tomorrow is bake my cornbread for my dressing. All right, so now we got that mixed. I'll give y'all a turn this off just so y'all can see kind of what it's looking like in there. All right, now I'm going to put that back on. And let's go ahead now and start adding in this butter. Again, for the single pie recipe is 1 stick of butter, 2 eggs. But like I said, I'm doing all my pies for Thanksgiving right now. Gonna kick that up a little bit. And while that's doing this thing, nothing. If you have a stand mixer and it has the paddle attachment, use the paddle attachment. Don't use the whisk. If you use the whisk, it's not going to be that big of a deal, and it's more as important for cheesecakes than it is for pies like this. But what happens is it's going to incorporate a lot of air into your pie. And then when it cooks, it's going to puff up, and it may or may not sink. You know, after it puffs up and the air, you know, escapes, it may sink. That happens a lot with cheesecake. Another thing, me and another viewer was chatting on one of my posts. I don't do the jiggle test, and I don't do the toothpick test. Pies like these are set because the eggs have to congeal between 160 and 180 degrees. So I usually pour my pies at about 170. I know a lot of us use the toothpick method, and most times that has worked for me. But there has been some times that it hasn't, so I use a thermometer and check with that to make sure that my pies are done. All right, what am I doing here? Well, I mess around and mess up Thanksgiving. That's one of the dangers of doing live shows a week of holiday. I got to pay extra attention because I got folks coming over. All right. 1 boogie wiggy, 2 boogie wiggy, and 3 boogie wiggy. So per pie, you're using 1 teaspoon of nutmeg for this particular one, and 1 tablespoon of vanilla. Now with these eggs, trust me on this. When you're cracking your eggs, crack them into a separate bowl, because God forbid you cracking all your eggs into a bowl and one of them eggs is not good. It's done went bad or whatever, and now you gotta throw a whole bunch of eggs away. So crack them one by one into a bowl. Go ahead and add them in there. I had this debate last year on pies, because some folks, they put cinnamon in their pies. And I've had pies with cinnamon in them. It's just the truncated version of my mama's pie. And she didn't use cinnamon, so I don't use cinnamon. But I have had it with cinnamon in there. Sweet potato pie, much like potato salad, got 55 million ways to do it. And go ahead and put this last one in there. We're going to go and let that keep on mixing. Turn that up just a little bit. It's one of them shows where it's like, really ain't that whole much lot going on this one. And believe it or not, we actually taped this last night, filmed it, and I'm like, dadgum, I gotta wait for the dadgum pie to cool down. So I was like, you know what, as that dude said, I got time today, so I said, I'm gonna go ahead and just do it again live, and since I already got a pie in there cooked, we go from there. All right, let's go and get that, keep mixing. Oh, with your butter, definitely soften your butter before. You know, some people melt their butter. I just like to put the softened butter in there. It just seems like it incorporates better than if you put the oil in there, because the oil will separate. So that's just how I do it. Get this off here, and let me go ahead and get some pie crust. On a bench. So, in case you're wondering, because I've had throughout the years, and before I say this, next week, I'm not sure what I'm doing. I might do some leftover recipes, leftover Thanksgiving recipes, but I want to hear any mishaps y'all had. So over the years, baking my pies, I've had a few that have overfilled, and that's why I've learned to go ahead and bake my pies on a baking sheet. Now, some people actually cover the edges of their pies before they bake them. I found, because I've cooked mine from a frozen state, I've never had to do that really. Put them in at 350, 55 minutes, or until they hit about 170 in the center. And I've never had that extra, you know, browned crust. There was a lady at my church I grew up in, Sister Diggs. She had the best pies in the world. She's the only person I knew that her pies consistently was the color of holly berry. And that's the color I like them to be. All right. So I think this is about gone incorporated. I'm going to pick it up just a notch. Hey, what up, Charles? What's going on with you? I'm making the sweet potato pies for Thanksgiving. So trying to get that all said and done. I don't know what I had to do some things with the studio equipment, and I'm seeing it on the RRS, but I ain't necessarily seeing y'all fly across the screen unless I just missed it. All right. I think that about should do it. All right. Unlock that. That's going to create a mess, but oh well. That's the good of having the outside. We're going to go ahead and, now I don't know the amount you're supposed to put in each one. Like I said, I've gotten this down to such a science that I know about the poundage, how many pounds, and I'm usually, like the one I made last night was dead on, but I do fill my pies up all the way to the rim. I want every bite you get to have some sweet potato in it. And again, as I said earlier, if you have extra sweet potato pie, go ahead and make you a basic cheesecake, swirl some of that in there. You bake your crust, make your crust, pour some, you mix a cup of your sweet potato filling with your cream cheese filling, put it in the bottom, pour the rest of your cream cheese filling on top, and just swirl that in there and go and bake it like that. And we're gonna go ahead, do this one. And I'm gonna go ahead and, well, I ain't finna do it right now, I'll do it after the show is over. But we're gonna go ahead and put these in the house. Now, to show y'all what the finished product look like, let me go ahead and grab the finished product, because I gotta go bake these, obviously. Now you saying some of the obvious stuff. Show you what the finished pie look like. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I always have an issue with cutting pies. So, I learned this from one of my favorite celebrity chefs. The way I cut my pies, I flip them over, and I use an electric knife, and I cut them from the back, so it's already pre-cut. You might not be able to tell from looking on there. Well, you can, but that's already pre-cut. But I'm going to show you how I do it. Basically, I flip mine over, take an electric knife, and I just cut right through the pie. That way those slices are already pre-cut, and you ain't got to go worrying about trying to figure it out that way. So now let me go ahead and take me a slice of pie out. Oh, after you bake your pie, you're going to let it cool at room temperature for about an hour, and then you're going to go ahead and put it in your oven and bake it at 350 again to it's about 55 minutes roughly, or until a thermometer when inserted registers about between 160 and 180. I always shoot for 170. All right. And I know I shouldn't eat this pie right now because I love sweet potato pie, and I'm gonna eat way too much of this before now Thanksgiving. That's why I gotta bake some more pies, because this one for the show, it ain't gonna make it to. I promise you, it's not gonna make it to Thursday. Anyway, folks, as always, again, please, 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 if you're on YouTube, subscribe to us there. Hit that notification bell so you know that we are on. Please like and follow us on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram. Do not forget to tap into us on TikTok. For this show, our previous shows, visit createsimplemeals.com. The recipes and the videos are there. Send me your email correspondence at askme@createsimplemeals.com. Hit that chat button, talk to me directly. Share this video with your friends and family alike. Until next week, the plan is next week, I'm going to show you how to use, hopefully, because y'all going to make way too much food, I'm going to try and show you how to do repurpose some of that food into some repurposed meals. But I also want y'all to hit me up and tell me any of your holiday successes and some of your holiday failures, because you know on Crazy for Meals, all you got to do is have that passion, have that patience, and you practice. See y'all again next Tuesday.